Positive in O. O-positive blood is the most common type, with 4 out of 10 people having it. Reach makes it great. Anyone who is Rh positive, A, B, AB, or O, can get O-positive blood. It is very important to medicine because it can stabilize most people in an emergency. Because they are easy to find, O-positive donors are what blood banks mostly use to feed hospitals. Over time, the O-type has shaped how humans have survived. Plasmodium falciparum, the parasite that causes the most deadly type of malaria, can't clump together as many red blood cells when O carriers don't have A or B antigens. This lowers the risk of getting severe malaria. Anthropologists think that type O may have helped hunter-gatherers because their immune systems and digestive systems were able to handle high-protein foods and wild illnesses before farming changed people's health. However, germs can get into O blood cells because of the exposed H antigen. This makes O people more likely to get serious cholera and norovirus. O blood types also have lower levels of clotting factors like von Willebrand factor at birth. These factors protect against life-threatening clots, but also raise the chance of bleeding. A good sign. 3 out of 10 people are A positive, which is the second most common blood type in the world. Blood from A and O positive donors is safe for people who are A positive, because red blood cells have both A antigens and the Rhd factor. It is one of the easiest blood types for hospitals to handle because it can be mixed with a lot of different types of blood. It is widely used, which helps blood banks keep backup supplies on hand. Type A's evolutionary and immunological traits had effects on population change that went beyond medicine. A certain antigen has been linked to a stronger immune reaction to some bacterial illnesses, especially those that spread in dirty, crowded farming areas. In this way, it's possible to understand why type A rose as people changed from hunter-gatherers to settled farmers. The antigen that provides these responses has also been linked to blood clotting issues and heart diseases. This shows how evolution balances what is good and what is bad. B positive. B positive blood is not as common as O and A types, but it is still important around the world. It's found in about 1 in 10 people. The Rhd factor and B proteins on red blood cells describe it. People who are B positive can easily get blood from people who are B negative, B positive, O positive, or O negative. Because B positive blood doesn't come in as often as O and A type blood, it needs more focused donation drives to keep up with demand. The evolutionary spread of type B is very interesting. It is mostly found in Asia and the Middle East, which suggests that it spread unevenly through time due to population changes and natural selection. Research shows that the B antigen also helps protect against some germs, but leaves others open to attack. Researchers have found a link between the B type and changes in how glucose and fat are processed. These small differences show that blood types are more than just groups used for transfusions. Over thousands of years, humans have evolved in many ways to survive in different settings. Positive AB. Not even 5% of people in the world are AB positive. It is shown by red blood cells that have the Rhd factor, A and B proteins. People who are AB positive can get red blood cells from any source, whether they are positive or negative, A, B, AB, or O. They can receive any kind of blood transfusion, which is helpful when blood supplies are low or when an emergency calls for urgent compatibility. Evolutionary studies show that AB is the newest blood type. It was created a few thousand years ago when groups of A and B were mixed. The fact that it is rare helps genetic diversity experts, because it combines 2 antigen systems. But there are some downsides to transfusion-compatible antigens. Types A and B are more likely than type O to get clotting and vascular problems. The AB-positive blood group is one of the tiniest in the world, but it also has the strongest safety net for transfusions. This is an amazing example of how scarcity and benefit have worked together in evolution. O-negative. O-negative blood is very important to health, even though less than 7% of people in the world have it. It is known by the fact that red blood cells do not have any A, B, or Rhd proteins on them. Anyone can get O-negative red blood cells because they can be used to give blood to anyone else. In emergency rooms and other situations where typing blood isn't possible, O-negative is the first choice because it saves lives. This shows how uncommon it is to lack all 3 important antigens from an evolutionary point of view. Its lack of markers lowers immune reactions linked to transfusions, but it is not completely safe. O types are more likely to get serious cholera and norovirus infections because they are exposed to H antigen. To keep babies from bleeding without the Rhd factor, O-negative moms must be constantly watched while they are pregnant. Because O-negative carriers have unmatched medical value, they are disproportionately important to the world's blood supply. They have been silent defenders in every health system throughout evolution. Less than 2% of people in the world have A-negative blood. Its red blood cells only have an A protein and no Rhd factor, which limits how well they work with transfusions. A-negative people can only safely get blood from O-negative and A-negative donors, which limits their donor group. Blood donors that are negative for A-type may be the only safe option for people with this type, which makes them very useful in clinical practice. In farming societies from the past, where there were a lot of people and a lot of diseases, the A antigen may have made the immune system stronger against some bacterial illnesses. Not having Rhd makes birth more difficult. A mother who is A-negative may have antibodies that hurt her baby's red blood cells if she has a Rh-positive child. Preventive care in modern health may have had an effect on survival and reproduction in the past. A-negative blood has both hidden defenses and delicate weaknesses because it is rare, has a strong immune system, and has problems reproducing. Negative B. Only 1% of people in the world have B-negative blood. Red blood cell B proteins are what make it unique. There is no Rhd factor. This means that B-negative people can only safely get blood from B-negative or O-negative donors, which limits the types of blood transfusions they can get. Because there aren't enough, hospitals carefully handle B-negative gifts and give them to patients who need them first. From an evolutionary point of view, type B probably spread unevenly among ancient people, with higher levels of prevalence in Asia and lower levels in Africa, Europe, and the Americas. It is very rare because it is only found in small areas without the Rhd component. Some studies suggest that B carriers may react differently to some bacterial and viral illnesses than other groups. This could be because of small genetic trade-offs in immunity. People who are B-negative are very uncommon and have one of the most carefully distributed antigen patterns in the history of humans. A negative B. Blood kinds A, B, and O are the most common. Less than 5% of people in the world have blood type B. There is no Rhd factor on its red blood cells, so it is very rare. B-negative plasma is useful in transfusion medicine because it can be used by anyone. Because there aren't many AB-negative red cells, people with this type can only get blood from donors who are A-negative, B-negative, or O-negative. AB is the newest blood type in terms of evolution. It came about when groups of A and B merged a few thousand years ago. A B-negative is even less common because it doesn't have Rhd. It is a genetic outlier in people. This rare case shows how different and fragile blood type transfer can be. Not many people carry B-negative, but their plasma is very important for transfer treatment. A B-negative lineage is the rarest mix of all the main antigenic traits. It's like a biological fingerprint on the edge of human variation. Sign up to learn about the world, not just watch it.